Prosecutors have charged singer Chris Brown with 2 felonies, including assault.
Chris Brown finally speaks on meeting Rihanna, falling in love, and what happened the night he assaulted Rihanna. In his new documentary, Chris Brown is opening up about his troubled relationship with Rihanna.
I just think we were like the perfect, and bad combination. Like it was just good and bad together.
When Chris Brown and Rihanna started dating, they were the picture-perfect couple on the outside. They were both 2 of the hottest artists at the time and music's new power couple. Towards the end, Chris had that Doublemint endorsement deal, Rihanna had CoverGirl, and they both dominated the airwaves. But in 2009, we saw the picture-perfect image shatter. The headlines were brutal after TMZ posted photos, and it was discovered that Chris Brown assaulted his girlfriend and pop princess Rihanna. In a clip from his new documentary titled Chris Brown, Welcome to My Life, Chris not only talks in detail about what went down that night, but also what led to the assault. Chris says that it all began when he lied to Rihanna about sleeping with one of his former employees, and even though he eventually told her the truth months later, that's what caused the downfall. He said, "My trust was totally lost with her. She hated me. After that, I tried everything. She didn't care. She just didn't trust me after that. From there, it just went downhill because it will be fights, it will be verbal fights, physical fights as well." He then goes into further detail about their day-to-day.
I still love Rihanna, but I'm just gonna be honest. We would fight each other. She would hit me, I would hit her. But it never was okay.
Chris goes on to talk about them both having to come up with excuses for the scratches and covering up bruises with makeup. Now, you may remember Rihanna opened up to Diane Sawyer about her relationship and what happened that night years ago, but when Rihanna sat down with Oprah back in 2012 on Oprah's Next Chapter, we were all reminded how the fall of their relationship affected so many of us and opened up a serious conversation on domestic abuse. In that interview, Rihanna talks about forgiving Chris, dealing with the situation so publicly, and why she still loves him.
It was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was hurtful. You know, it's not easy. I lost my best friend. Like, everything I knew switched.
When referencing that night, Chris says that he didn't read the full text message from his former fling, and that's what led to the fight because Rihanna assumed that he knew she was going to show up to Clive's party. Then, because of the trust issues that were already there, that's when the violence began. He says, "I remember she tried to kick me, just like her beating Shish, but then I really hit her with a closed fist like I punched her, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, oh, why did I hit her like that?" From there, she's spitting blood in my face. It raised me even more. It's a real fight in the car, and we were driving in the street. She tried to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out the window. It's still a little weird hearing him talking about the incident in their former relationship so many years later, but it clearly still hurts him to this day.
A lot of the times, like, I look back at that picture and I'm just like, yo, bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me.
Let us know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Domestic violence is never okay. If you need help or know someone who does, head over to thehotline.org or call 1-800-799-7233. Thanks so much for tuning in to Clevver. I'm your host, D. Milton Jr., and I'll see you next time.